In this video, we're going to be talking about local area networks and wide area networks, and we're going to talk about what they are and how they differ. So what is a local area network? Well, first of all, a local area network is commonly referred to as a LAN, and all it is a collection of computers and other networkable devices connected together within a single physical network. And the key word is that we're talking about a single physical network. Now, we haven't really talked about what composes a single physical network, but we'll get into that later in the course. But let's go ahead and let's talk about some examples. And I have some examples down here on the bottom of the screen. So let's start with an office building. Let's say that you are renting out maybe the fourth floor of an office building for your law firm, and you need to set up a network. Well, that would be considered a local area network. Another one would be, for example, let's say that you own a 4-story building and there's different departments on each floor. And let's say the marketing department is on the second floor. Well, if you set up a network for the marketing department, that would be considered a LAN. It would be considered a local area network for that department. Another one would be your home office or simply your home, where you have your home network set up with your laptops and maybe a desktop, maybe a couple tablets, maybe a couple smartphones. That would be considered, again, a local area network. And then another good example would simply be a classroom. Let's say you have a classroom on your campus where there's 30 different desktops, one for each student, and it's connected together. And so it's a network for the students in that classroom that would be, again, considered a local area network. And so the one major thing behind this when we're talking about local area networks is really the constraint upon it. And the constraint meaning that it's constrained to one specific area. And really we're talking about being constrained to one geographic region. So it's not spread out across multiple different areas, but it's really, and I'm going to highlight this whole portion here, it's restricted to one particular geographic region. And that geographic region could be an office building, could be a single department within a corporate office, it could be a home office, it could be a classroom. But we just need to think about it as being its own single entity as a local area network, and it's within the same geographic region. So now that we know that, let's talk about wide area networks. So a wide area network, on the flip side, is multiple LANs connected together. And I'm going to introduce a new term to you right now, and that new term is intranetwork. So what do I mean when I say intranetwork? Well, an intranetwork is multiple LANs connected together. However, a WAN is multiple local area networks connected together that spans a large geographic region. So we're talking about multiple different locations connected together. And the key point to this is that, let's say, for example, if you had an office building for a large corporation, one in San Francisco, and you had another one in New York, and you had another one in Dallas, and you needed to connect all those together, well, those would be either LANs or a connection of LANs as an internetwork at each site, at each location. However, when you connect them all together across the United States, then it becomes what we call as a WAN. And so it's no longer a local area network when you connect them together, because when you connect it across a large geographic region, then we can no longer consider it a local area network, and we have to call it a WAN. And this will make more sense when I show you some diagrams in the next pages. Now, when we are talking about wide area networks, they usually employ routers. And so if you see a router in the network and a router connects one device to another, then you're usually talking about either an internetwork or a WAN. Typically a LAN is only going to have a router at its edge to reach out to another network, but it's not going to have it within its network. And now another thing with wide area networks is that it really includes and uses public links. So what I mean by a public link, I'm talking about a publicly leased link to connect to the internet to get to another site, such as, for example, the San Francisco office connecting to the Dallas office. So, they reach out to the internet service provider and they say, look, either I need to share one of your public links to connect to my other site, or I need my own private link that I'm going to lease from you. And really the best example in the whole entire world is going to be the internet. So the internet is nothing more than a wide area network. It's hundreds and thousands of local area networks connected together, and that's how we've reached and that's how we've built up the internet. Another example would be a campus network. Let's say, for example, Stanford University or Cambridge University. Now, it is within the same geographic region, but really these campuses are immensely large and they span the size of a city, so we can consider them a wide area network because there are multiple small networks connected together. So that's the one thing about a WAN, is that it doesn't reside in a single location. It resides in multiple locations. So let's go ahead and let's look at a couple of diagrams. So here's the first one, and hopefully this one's going to help bring this all, into fruition and really make it click and make it kind of stick into your head. So in this example, we have multiple different office buildings across the United States, and we're trying to connect them together so they communicate. We have an office in Montana, we have an office in California, we have an office in Texas, and we have an office in Virginia. And when we start connecting them together, these local area networks within each one of these buildings, when they connect together across the US and they connect across public lines through your internet service providers, they then become a WAN. And that gets us to our definition at the top, is that really what this turns into is that multiple local area networks become a single wide area network. So, we can even build this out further with, say, this network connects to this one like so. This network can also branch off and connect directly to this one. And again, it looks like they're almost all connected. Maybe this network can directly branch off and connect to this network as well. And so we can have all these different links, and they're going to combine together, and this 4 different LANs, one for each corporate office, becomes one big wide area network. So let's go ahead and look at this again from another perspective. So we have 3 different LANs, and what we're doing here is we're connecting them together. So we have our LAN over here. So let's say we have LAN number 1, and then down here at the bottom we have LAN number 2, and down over here we have LAN number 3. So we have 3 distinct LANs, but when we connect them together across a single communication line here, then they become a wide area network. And let me change this to a different color so it helps make a little more sense. Let's make this blue. So when they connect to here and now they're able to communicate, these 3 LANs become a wide area network. And so we have 3 different LANs becoming one. So that's the difference. Remember, a local area network is a single network. It's usually in a single geographic region. And a wide area network is just nothing more than multiple different LANs connected together, and it's dispersed across a wide geographic region. So that's going to go ahead and conclude our discussion on local area networks and wide area networks. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.